What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's 2019. Can you believe that? Happy New Year to everyone. I'm so excited to be back. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but like I said, it's 2019, new goals, new commitment, no excuses. I made that promise to myself. And today we're going to get right to it. We're going to talk about Lightroom, introduction to it, and a little bit of the basics 101, just so you can understand it. It can be a little bit intimidating when using any editing software after you take a picture, whether it's with your phone, your camera, DSLR, whatever you're using. If it's digital, Lightroom will help you out with it. So let's get right to it, get you with the basics, and get that ball rolling. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer it, and we can have a full conversation on that too. All right, let's go. So let's jump right in. This is Lightroom. The interface may look a little intimidating, but it's not. It's very simple. These two pictures here I imported earlier just to show you some cool things as we progress in the video. So as you can see on the top right, there's some tabs here like library, developing, map, book, slideshow, print, and web. Anything from map and on are usually services that Adobe provides for you to do cool things, and you can check those out whenever you do get the software. But the ones we're going to be talking about is library and develop. And as we move on here, you're going to see navigator, which is a preview of your image where you can fill 1:1, 3:1, fit, depending on what kind of zoom you want. You also have a tab called catalog where you can see all your images that you've taken and edited, but we're going to close that one. The one that's important here is folders. See if I've done memes or created memes as you see there, but also other shoots that you've edited in the past you can access here. You can always go back and retouch them at any given time. Alright, let me show you how to import real fast. So import, you go here, and all you have to do is press this, and as you can see, you're going to see your files. You're going to see anywhere from your hard drive or any external hard drives that you may have. In my case, it's right here. You'll see the folder under Jexy Studios for mine and all my other images. But since I've imported and already selected the images, I'm not going to do that again. So we're just going to cancel out, and that's easy. Once you select the images, they're going to load down here, and they're just going to display all throughout the bottom as you see here, and you can toggle between them just as easy with your arrows. And when you're done, you can always export, but we can get onto that later. Next, the main and fun one, it's develop. When you go to develop, boom, you see all this, and this can be crazy. You're like, what are all these scales, and what is this, and what is that? Well, don't fear, I got you. So we're going to start off by talking about the presets. So like I said, this is Navigator where you can zoom in and out, but the presets are really just actions that have been created from other photographers or professionals that allow you to have quick access to editing any image. So if you see here, as I scroll through, I can click on one of them, and as I scroll, you'll be able to see the preview of the edit beforehand. So all these presets that I have been some that I accumulated when I first started shooting, and they all served as a base and purpose for my edits. But as I progress and learn how to edit for myself, I don't even use them as much. I just keep them here because obviously they can come in handy any given time during a process. But after that, that's it. That's about pretty much it with presets. You can get them from your favorite photographers. You can probably find some online for free. Let's jump over here to the other side, which is the right side, and on this side it's the beautiful side. All right, this is where you're going to be able to see tools like crop overlay, spot removal, red eye, and so on. Let's start with crop overlay. With crop overlay, it's super easy. You just have something where you can crop it depending on what it is you're going to be using it for. If it's social media, usually Instagram, it's a 4:5, very easy, or 1:1, which is a square. I'm gonna leave this image like this. What we are gonna do is we're gonna align it. It may not need much, but all you have to do is hit auto and it fixes it for you. In this case, I already done it, so all I have to do is hit enter, boom, and it's done. Now, spot removal. Spot removal serves almost like when you need to fix something. For instance, let's say this here. We want to fix all this here. Use spot removal, and what it does, it chooses maybe something that's similar to, or you want to replace, or you can move it. And in this case, it's the tree. We have size, feather, and everything. You can reduce the size of it, feathering out. And the less feathering, the harsher the edit. So you can see we almost fixed the tree here, except for this part here. But this is just something to show you the editing process. But in this case, we don't want that. So all we do is click on that, delete, and it's gone. All right. Red eye, simple as that. If there's a pet, if there's people, humans, all you had to do is select that, and it's pretty self-explanatory, super easy to do. One that's my favorite, it's the graduated filter, which when you click on it, you can bring down from any angle, and what it does, it actually does almost like a gradient. In this case, I'm gonna flip it over, which is what I'm doing, because in this picture, what we want to do is probably, you know, bump up the exposure on the bottom so it looks a little brighter, as you can see here. And when you close out, you'll be able to see right there. Alright, so delete that. And we move on. So this one here, the radial filter, allows you to manipulate light around, see that, the circle, or inside if you hit invert. This helps with faces, you know, if you want to do portraits and you want to amplify something. But then you move to the brush. The brush is one of my favorite tools, especially if you need to change colors or focus on something. So let's see this little ball right here. You know, you can definitely raise up the exposure on it. You can bring the highlight down on it. And I'll explain all these in a little bit. But the beauty of it, you can even change colors. So if you needed to change the color of a particular item, a clothing, you can use this brush tool, and it will definitely allow you to mess with the color and tone. So these are just some of the cool tools that I use and that are very, very helpful. They also tell you, you know, what the image was shot in when you see the histogram up here, what ISO, range, focus, and f-stop. So as we move down, you see the basics. The basics, this is that. And this is where the beauty of editing images comes to. So if you see here, we have color, black and white, keep it simple. If you keep color, you can move down to temperature. Temperature allows you to activate the coolness or the warmth of the image. If you go cool, it gives you that, you know, icy skating ring vibe. If you go here, almost looks like a summer day, but you don't want to go too cool or too warm. Tint allows you to manipulate the rosiness or the green tint of the image. Exposure as well. This is another term for brightness. And then you got contrast. With contrast here, you can manipulate, you know, the shadows all in one hit without having to go individually. But now, if we go to highlight, this is important. Highlight allows you to manipulate the brightness of something, of a particular item. Shadows allows you to bring out just that, just the shadows. You can keep the black color, but as far as that, shadows will stand out just like this. Now you have whites, that's more for the light. As you can see, the more I pull, you'll notice those red marks right here. The red marks are really just from this tab right here on the top right corner that I'm pressing, and it allows me to control my white balance, so that way my images don't look too overexposed or too underexposed. It allows me to work with that just fine. Same thing with the blacks. If I go too much black, it'll turn blue instead of red. This just tells me there's too much, and it's gonna be like not visible, like your image is almost ruined at that point, unless you're going for a really dramatic look. But if you pull back, Notice all the blacks go away, and you just kind of want to have a balance on that. So right now we're just keeping everything at 0, and the way to go back to 0, you double click on the name of whatever you're using. Now clarity allows you to see how it smooths it out, and then you go here and it emphasizes on structure. Yeah, definitely want to be very careful with that, especially if you're doing portraits, only because you don't want to bring out the pores or, you know, imperfections on skin or anything because of that. Now if you go to vibrance and saturation almost go hand in hand, but vibrance in itself is just that it makes the color pop a little more, whereas saturation can almost alter the color, if you see here. And if you go back, obviously saturation is color, which means we'll just steal it away from everything you have. So you can have full saturation, very low vibrance. You can see you'll still have the color, not as powerful because of the vibrance. But let's go 0 here. And those are just some of the basic tools that are on Lightroom, and manipulating and playing around with that allows you to bring out so much more on your images, and it just helps them look better. And I'll show you one. If you go here, this is one that I edited not too long ago of the same image, so you can see, you know, what a little bit of everything does. Here I use the gradient filter, the brush, and some of the cool tools that I showed you, as well as, you know, bringing up the exposure, bringing down some of the highlights, and making other things pop. So with that, let's get back to it. Now let's go back to library, and we go to export, and export is just another way for you to be able to share it, put it on your hard drive. When you're done with the image, you just hit export, and that's pretty much it. So let's close out. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I try to make it as short and sweet as possible, but I can keep talking about editing for hours. This is just a introduction, basics 101 to Lightroom. Nothing too fancy, nothing too extravagant. And it's just to show you, you know, what you can do to enhance your images and make them look like the way you saw it and not the camera saw it, alright? Other than that, that's really it. Again, let's conquer 2019. New goals, new commitment, no excuses. Let's get the ball rolling, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace! Oh yeah, and before we leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with everyone. Alright? Alright, now we can say bye. Whenever you're gonna use any photos software, so you're not intimidated when using a photos editing software. So you're not intimidated when editing. Just that simple as that. Why not?